Hello dear traders. For today's session I decided to cover gold market and I will speak about the euro dollar versus US dollar and USD versus Japanese yen. I will start with the gold analysis first. So as I mentioned yesterday, basically the rally that we're seeing in the gold basically started after the selling climax and the retest of this climax on the lower volume back like a few days ago. Then we got a I'll take this tool, we got it like this, we got a retest, I'm gonna break out of this pivot, we got a pull back, more like a bull fly, and then this is where the problem started. The selling yesterday, the volume, this is the gold and futures market, the selling got a greater volume and bigger volume than the demand yesterday. So this is a basically clue that told me that there is a basically still selling around, and it is not that selling power decreased that much. So we still have a decent supply on the market. Now, having that information and having information that we are still trading in the downside cycle and that we're near the major cluster, I give more odds for the downside rotation and for some sell-off around the cluster versus the second scenario, which will be the price that gold will trade and take all of the recent highs and then eventually do pull back and maybe another upside move towards this level here, 1804. So you see, we can let's have two scenarios. We speak about the two most probable scenarios. I give more odds for the downside rotation around this cluster of resistance of swing highs. But one thing is for sure that today's event, like non-farm employment change in the US and unemployment rate, will be a key event, which will actually be a potential like a tape bomb, we call that. So potential for much bigger volatility, and that is just that event is just around the corner. So make sure to understand that my advice is basically that you can pre-position for the event. From my perspective, I will advise you only if you got some good profit for the week, so you can sacrifice a little bit of profit in order to even increase bigger that profit for the week. But if you are flat for the week or you're not doing that good, trading around the news or just an hour before the news or during the news will be very, very risky. So I will not recommend that. So anyway, big cluster zone. Supply, actually we saw supply from yesterday, and right now we are sitting in the cluster of swing highs, which can really act like resistance. So I give more odds, so this is the upside scenario like this, but more options to this downside rotation and then back to revisit 7067, 7066, or even 7050, 7053. So that is about the gold, guys, and so that is a down scenario if the cluster can hold, and I see the supply yesterday was pretty decent. Bull scenario will be less likely to happen, but still always potential that if we take all of the swing highs from the background and then do eventual pullback or so, then maybe a rotation and upside play around to test 1804, 1825. But that is a scenario that I give less odds to happen. Anyway, everything is possible, so you must be prepared. Speaking of the euro dollar basically, based on the daily time frame, we spoke about this rally and the retest of this low here at 1.1855. Not just that we retested that, we didn't have any reaction from buyers, and we actually trading lower. So this is a big sign that there is a more potential for the downside. So I guess sellers are totally in control. The same thing like on the pound, sellers are in total control on Australian dollar versus US dollar. I see also that on the euro. So I can easily see this euro to, short term speaking, to revisit 1.1740 and 1.1705. So watching for the selling opportunities on the rallies will be appropriate strategy according to this condition. And finally for today, speak about USD versus Japanese yen. we hit this upside target initially that we spoke about in this pullback. Not just that we retest this 111.10, we got a breakout yesterday, and today we got a test and reject the previous day high, so it's doing some pullback mode now, but still nothing, as there is no reversal patterns or anything yet confirmed. So I guess on the pullback, watch for the end of the pullback and play for the next reference points around 112.20 and 112.40. It'll be all for today, guys. See you all next week.